All right, welcome back to another Living in Costa Rica podcast. Hey, today we are actually going to be talking about the whole 180-day visa that you can get when you come into Costa Rica. However, you can only legally drive for 90 days. Makes no sense to me. But today is an Is That Legal episode with my co-host,
Cristina Guerrini. Hi, CEO of BlueZone Legal, specialized in assisting expats in all your legal needs.
I am Alan Richard with Off the Grid Homestead. So if you're looking and you're trying to find out information about Costa Rica, can't find the answers, click the link in the description below. You can schedule a phone consultation and you can get your answers right now. But hey, let's get into Is That Legal episode. All right, Cristina, this has been kind of going on for a while. Because used to, if you came into Costa Rica, you only got 90 days. But for whatever reason, Costa Rica passed a brand new law that said, hey, instead of 90 days, you get 180 days as a tourist coming into Costa Rica. How long ago did they pass that?
Okay, it was at the end of September 2023. Clarification, it is not for everyone. There are still people who only get a lower period of time, but most of the countries in the first group, which are the countries that were used to get the 90 days, can now get 180 days. Assume that you belong to the first group, which means you're from the US, from the UK, from the European Union, from Canada, and so you can qualify for the 180 days. And if you don't know if you do, just remember, if you qualified for the 90 days visa, now you qualified for the 180 days.
In your opinion, why do you think Costa Rica legislation changed it from 90 to 180? I mean, it's something I thought they should have done a long time ago, but they're finally doing it because Panama has been doing that for years.
To accommodate to the new world, I will say, to the new post-COVID area, where it is typical for people to spend longer time of the years abroad. So 90 days were not enough anymore to receive tourists to the country. We live in a beautiful country, so people want to stay more than 90 days on the tourist basis. So they extended this is my guess, of course.
A lot of people began to realize that, hey, I can work online, I can work from home. So it does actually give people the opportunity to say, hey, we can go to Costa Rica. However, they only allow us to go for 90 days. Hey, let's just go to Panama. They let us go for 180 days. So Costa Rica's like, hey, we want the tourists here. And so they coming in alignment with the other countries. Hey, maybe that's the case. Here's the problem with the 180-day visa. You can come here for 180 days, but you only can legally drive for 90 days. What's up with that, Cristina?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's a typical situation where immigration does not talk with the transport administration. If I'm a tourist just coming here and I got 180 days, how am I supposed to know that I can only drive for 90 days?
Good point, right? And now the question here, the wheels of justice turn slow. And so a lot of times, like you said, for whatever reason, they pass this wonderful 180-day law, but it's almost like there's this power struggle with the transportation division and the immigration division where they don't talk to one another. And so immigration says, great, you stay for 180 days. Driving says, yeah, but you still can't drive but for 90.
Exactly. Or even, it seems, I don't know, they are in a very complicated relationship, immigration and the Minister of Transportation.
I'm a tourist. I come in, I get 180
Yeah.
days. I'm excited. I'm driving, and I really do not know that I can only drive for 90 days. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what's the likelihood that I'm driving and it's day 95? I don't know any better. What is the likelihood? Because, the transit police or the traffic cops, often have these traffic stops, and they have these traffic stops and they're just checking to make sure that everybody, they've got their inspection stickers, they've paid for their marchamo, which is their, insurance on their vehicles, but they're also, when they see an expect, they're checking to make sure that you're legally in the country. What are the odds that the traffic cop is actually going to give a tourist a ticket?
Very likely, I will say, because if for a cop that works in the transit police, they just know something for sure. If you're a foreigner, either you have a residency and a foreign driver license, or you can only drive for 90 days. It's a simple rule. It's a simple rule to be implemented. And how do they check? They just check your passport, last entry stamp, and if you don't have the passport, they just, that's another fine. You must have your passport.
Okay. And we know this to be factual because unfortunately I had that experience myself. And so here's the thing that we have to understand is that, hey, you know, I'm driving around and I was actually as legal as can be because I had a digital nomad visa. So I was not required at all to stamp out. So keep in mind, if you're coming here and you do have 180 days, like Cristina said, it is most important. Always drive with your passport. You've heard that, yes, technically you can drive with a picture of the passport that has your all your numbers, but you also have to have a picture of that entry stamp. Okay. But hey, it's really up to that traffic police. He could still give you a ticket if he wants to. So just avoid that and make sure that you are driving with your driver's license and you're driving with your passport. Okay. And you better make sure that your driver's license is not expired. Okay. So with that said, you know, he may not know the law. And in this case, he did not know the law. Okay. And I even pleaded with the guy and said, hey, look, I have a digital nomad visa. I don't have to. And to me, this guy was just corrupt. He was hard headed. And when I told him, hey, I'm going to call my attorney, he's like, no, don't call your attorney. I'm taking your plates. So that issue is kind of bad because if he does take your plates, while you may not have to pay the fine, you will get a fine. I got a fine for 60,000 colones. And of course, because Cristina helped me get my digital nomad visa, she helped me get the paperwork that I needed to appeal that. Okay. So I didn't have to pay it, but still it was a pain in the butt because I still had to go and, make an appointment, I couldn't get my plates right away. And it was a lot of, it's just a pain. So it's just important to know that, hey, right now, that is not lined up. But hey, there is good news, okay? The good news is it's not going to always be this way, right, Cristina?
It is right. In fact, there is a bill of law that has been in the assembly being discussed and reviewed from more than a year, even before the new rules regarding the visa changes. But it has not been approved yet. It is the first draft had received the positive approval of the Tourism Commission. So they said, "Hey, we like this project. Assembly, please approve it." But then after the Commission of Tourism, which was requested to review the bill, gave their positive feedback, the bill changed again. So now, first of all, you need to know that this is just a bill of law. The rules are still the rule that we discussed before. You can only drive as a foreigner up to 90 days. Doesn't matter if you have more days on your visa. And pay attention, if you have less than 90 days, you can only drive for the maximum extent of your visa. So if you only got 40 days, you can only drive for 40 days, not 90.
Pause right there. So
Mhm.
I come in, if I only got 40 days, I can only drive for 40 days. But if I have 180 days, I can only drive for 90 days. But the quick fix is I can go to Panama or I can go to Nicaragua or I can just make a quick flight over to Mexico, enjoy Cancun for a day or two, come back. And once I stamp in, I automatically get another 90 days driving privileges, correct?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
That's a quick fix until this law that's in process gets passed because it's not passed. And as you said, the first draft was January 2023. They liked it, but then they amended it, made a few changes to make it even better in their opinion. That was back in September 2023. And recently in February of this year, 2024, they've even made a couple more changes. Is that right?
It is correct. on Valentine's Day, they decided to change the bill again. What does the Bill of Law say as of today? Okay. The new Bill of Law aims to change Article 91 of the Rule of the Law regarding transportation rules, which is the one that establishes the length of foreign driving privileges and the conditions for them to be recognized in Costa Rica. How do they want to change Article 91? They want to change so that, as you were saying, driving privileges matches, so to say, visa privileges. Okay, so let's start from the 180 days tourist visa. If you get a 180 days tourist visa, you can drive for 180 days. If you get 100 days visa, you can drive for 100 days. If you only get 40 days, you can still only drive for 40 days. In other words, the same number of days you get on your passport is the number of days your driving privileges will be held valid in Costa Rica, assuming the police will apply the law, right? Assuming that. Okay, so the new rules are pretty clear regarding tourists, okay?
Hey, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell because Christina and I on Is That Legal are going to be talking about all of the different categories of residency. Which one's best for you? Which is going to be the most popular? Which is the easiest one? So we're going to be kind of just taking bite sizes as we talk about each one of those things. Also, one other real quick thing. We talk about a whole lot of things on Is That Legal? We talk about a lot of things on my channel. But if you are interested in Costa Rica, one of the best things you can do is attend our next relocation retreat, which, by the way, I handpicked Cristina as one of the experts to come to my relocation retreat. She's actually going to be talking this March 3rd, at the next relocation retreat, right?
Yes, I will. I'm happy to come with my team of Costa Rican experts.
And that's really going to be good because this time she's going to be talking about, hey, your assets, right? I mean, when you come to Costa Rica, you have assets, but what happens if you die? Who gets those assets? So we're going to be talking about, hey, is it important to have a will in Costa Rica? Does your will in the United States work here? All that good stuff. And so she'll be talking about that at the relocation retreat. Won't give you all the details on it. Make sure that you can take a look at it. Reserve your seat because I believe it's going to sell out fast. But you got plenty of time. So reserve your seat. Then you can take your time to decide if you want a room. So the good news is that Costa Rica is actually working on a new law that is going to bring the driving privileges to 180 days or something to match your visa whenever you come in. However, what kind of time frame are we looking at? How long could that take, Cristina?
A few months, 1 year, 2 years, never. It may never happen. We don't know if they will approve it at all. So,
wow. So that's just part of being in Costa Rica. In my opinion, there's way more pros than there are cons about Costa Rica. Those are just things that we have to learn to adapt to when living in Costa Rica. And look, if you're wanting to get a hold of Cristina, check the link below. You can download a free PDF to where you can contact Cristina, contact her team, and get all the things that you need from her. Whether it's buying that first piece of property, getting your residency, anything that you need. Because look, I always say the most important thing when you come to Costa Rica is to have an attorney in your pocket. And I can tell you firsthand, Cristina has helped me a lot. So, Cristina, is there anything else we need to know about as far as the 90-day driving privileges or that 180-day visa? Is there anything else we need to know before we call it a show?
My recommendation is just to subscribe to your channel so that we can keep them posted. We will, of course, if there are any news, we will make another podcast, or they can even reach out to you and, download the PDF to get my contact information. And we're always happy to respond.
Absolutely. Because look, we're always trying to keep you updated on what's happening. You can always check out Cristina's website because they're always putting out blogs and updates about what's happening in the country as well. So, hey, once again, Cristina, it's been fun to do another Is That Legal episode. I can't wait for the next one as we get ready to talk in detail about all of the different residency programs there are for you, and is it even worth it to get residency or not if you get to stamp out every 180 days?
I will not respond now.
You'll just have to subscribe, hit that notification bar, and find out on the next Is That Legal? On the Living Costa Rica podcast. All right, we'll see you next time, folks. See you later.
Bye. See ya.